What's going on, guys? Welcome to Dime Dropper NBA Finals 2021 recaps. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe on YouTube at Dime Dropper Podcast. Follow us on Spotify, and of course, to follow us on social media at Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Dime Dropper Pod. So we are live from Los Angeles, California right now. Game 2, Suns-Bucks 2021 Finals just ended. The Phoenix Suns have now positioned themselves 2 games away from winning their first ever championship and making history with a 118-108 win, protecting home court for the third consecutive series. 7 straight wins at what was formerly known as the U.S. Airways Center when I attended back in 2013, the America West Center, Talking Stick Resort, the Suns Arena, whatever the hell you want to call it. They're 6-0 in their they've won 7 games in a row there. This game, I was really interested to see how the Bucks adjusted because clearly that Brook Lopez switching on a Chris Paul and Devin Booker strategy was cooked. So I saw a lot more drop coverage in this game. So for those unfamiliar with the term, it's when the big man drops a little deeper as the opposing big man rolls and tries to step up enough on the ball handler as he tries to drive to give the guy that was guarding the ball initially a chance to recover. In this case, Drew Holiday and, Chris Middleton trying to recover on guys like Chris Paul and Devin Booker. And in the beginning, he was working decently. On Cameron Payne, they went more straight, hard traps. And I thought that DeAndre Ayton in the first half just was a little bit poor around the rim. Just didn't look like he was going up strong. Missed a couple easy jump hooks and wasn't enforcing himself the way he was in game 1. And I liked what I saw from the Bucks in the first quarter because they went to the basket. They were up by 3, 29-26 in the first. But then in that second quarter, they went cold. And that kind of was similar to the last game where they kind of started out pretty well and then went down in the second quarter and kind of tried to battle from behind most of the game. Looked like they could make a run. They didn't fully make a run. And I thought in that second quarter to only score 16 points on the road, that's not going to cut it. And I thought Giannis was pretty weak in that second quarter, showing, the typical lack of skill that we sometimes see. But Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday not being able to get going, shooting the ball for the second consecutive game was the bigger story. And I just don't think Giannis got enough help tonight, which is something I don't really say usually when talking about the Bucks. I usually see what Giannis does wrong, and there's usually clear things you can pinpoint. But tonight, I thought he played great, and mostly it was in that third quarter. So that second quarter, the Bucks are cold. And I think the Suns, they did a really good job moving the basketball, as they always do, on the perimeter, and they have great off-ball movement. As I said, some players like the Jay Crowders, even Booker, Mikal Bridges, they move without the ball well. Chris Paul, I'd say, is the most static on their team. And I think that, I don't know how many times I've said it over the course of this season and over the course of this playoffs, but you guys have heard me say it. The Suns are the highest IQ basketball team in the league this season. They don't fall too in love with the three. They were for a little bit in this first quarter tonight, but when they do, they tend to adjust and go to that mid-range game, which Chris Paul and Devin Booker are some of the best in the league at. And then they move without the ball well. Guys like Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, they know what to do. And Jay Crowder is an underrated passer of the basketball, and they also are not only well coached, they have a big man with skill. You mix all those things together, you get the highest IQ team in today's league. And the Bucks are not that. I've been very critical of the Bucks' IQ over the course of the playoffs, and I believe that their IQ is too low to win this championship. It would take a colossal choke or a change of momentum for them to win this championship. Chris Middleton, for starters, right? He shot 5 of 16 and only had 11 points. 1 of 6 from 3. This is coming off a game where he was poor in game 1. But there was one play, I think the Bucks were down like 8 points in the third quarter, beginning of the third or something. I want to say 6 minutes left in the third. And they just make a 3 off moving the ball a bit. And Chris Middleton, with 20 seconds left on the shot clock, comes up and chucks a contested 3. Is this not the finals? Where's the awareness there? Where's the, okay, we're going to swing the ball and get a good shot because it's the fucking finals. Why don't we prioritize shots? Come on, man. And you're not even shooting well to be doing that. I get it. Shoot or shoot. You got to shoot out of a slump. Come on. At some point, you got to make smart decisions. You move the ball. Maybe you'll get the ball on off Giannis penetration. And Giannis in that third quarter was phenomenal. He was going to the basket. He even hit like middle tween shots, There was one shot turn over the right shoulder he hit. And again, I'm going to say it, if he can hit that consistently, I mean, he can be a whole different level of player, because this is not the Giannis we see every night. We see this kind of effort. We don't see this level of good shot making. And, he had that one or two Dirk Nowitzki-like one-legged fades around the foul line area. Those were very impressive. He was doing a lot of work on the offensive glass. He had 12 rebounds overall, so not BS rebounds tonight. 4 of them were offensive rebounds, so they were very noticeable. Problem is, he's not a very good free throw shooter. 11 of 18. That's always going to be his flaw. But tonight, I thought that he was kind of like Shaq. He made up for it by dominating the game in different ways, and he was +3. He was the only Milwaukee starter in the plus-minus category. Actually, the only Milwaukee player. So that says a lot about Giannis's performance to me tonight. 5 threes, though, that's one thing I think he can do without. He doesn't need to be taking 5 threes. He made one of them. But I really liked the way he was aggressive. He even got to a little jump hook late in that game in the fourth quarter, I think. And I just love the way he played. But sadly, I just don't think the Bucks – I just don't also think that they're sharp enough on defense at times through these pick and rolls of Chris and Devin Booker. It's very clear that Chris Paul doesn't like going left. He's never been amazing going left. He doesn't like stopping on a dime going left. He usually likes to set his feet, maybe pump fake or wait a second and square himself up. He's not one of those like Booker where just going either way. He's so comfortable stopping on a dime and pulling. And I think that the Bucks let him get to his right a little bit too much again. And when you saw him get to his left, or you saw him making Chris Paul get downhill. And I think that's part of why they went to drop coverage, to make Chris Paul go downhill a little bit more, because he doesn't really go to those floaters as much. He loves to stop and full stop pop for those mid-ranges, and right elbow is where he loves. He gets to fall away and square his shoulders to the basket as he's falling away. And I think that they did a good job, or not a good enough job in my opinion. And I think that the Suns do a really good job of, when you throw 2 guys, whether you blitz or hedge and recover on pick and rolls, they do a really good job of swinging the ball fast and cutting to open areas. And that's Jay Crowder. That's Mikal Bridges. Even a guy like a Cam Johnson. And you look at Jay Crowder and Mikal Bridges, they played amazing tonight. I mean, Mikal Bridges had 27 points, 8 of 15 from the field, 3 of 9 from 3, and 8 of 8 at the line to go along with 7 rebounds and some great defense. This is his first finals, and Mikal Bridges totally came to play tonight. I thought he was very solid in game 1 as well. Jay Crowder, who I was critical of in terms of not shooting the ball well, because he didn't shoot the ball well in the last finals last year in the bubble, but he was very good tonight. 4 of 8 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. He even hit a big mid-range shot late in the game. And I think that Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton just weren't good enough. But I also think that Pat Connaughton had plenty of chances to make this a closer game with some open threes. I'm seeing he shot 4 of 9 from 3 in the game overall, and 5 of 10 from the field, 14 points. Yeah, that's good. But he had plenty of open threes in really timely situations where if he makes a 3, it's a 5-point game, 4-point game. And then in the end, the Suns got a third look at a shot late in the fourth quarter. 2 offensive rebounds. One was a long rebound tipped out. I think Chris got it. And then another one, it was Ayton when the Bucks were going small. And I really liked what I saw when the Bucks went for Giannis at the 5 for stretches of that late third quarter, early fourth quarter, when it looked like they had a chance to potentially get it back to a 5-point game, 4-point game, but they just didn't capitalize. They made bad decisions, whether it was a turnover, a lack of getting an offensive rebound, a bad shot, Drew Holiday not making a shot. And Drew Holiday still had great defensive moments, but he needs to be better than 7 for 21. I mean, this is 2 games in a row now. He has not shot well enough from the field. 7 of 21, 17 points. Middleton and Drew Holiday combining for 28 points on 12 of 37 from the field. That's not going to get it done on the road against a very solid, very good Phoenix Suns team who has 3 guys with over 20 points in the game. Chris Paul, who I thought was good, but man, in that fourth quarter, Devin Booker was the one that was scorching. I mean, D-Book in that third quarter, he was hitting threes off the dribble, hitting his mid-ranges off the dribble. He was, stopping and popping for bank shots going left. I mean, getting shots off the Suns swinging the ball and making the Bucks rotate. And one thing I have to say about the Suns on the other end on defense, they do a really good job, especially, again, Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder, rotating and getting to shooters and closing down airspace and running guys off the three-point line. They do a really good job of that. And I just thought that they were doing that again tonight. Chris Paul, though, Booker was the one that had the hot hand. It was Booker's game tonight. He had 31 points on 12 of 25 from the field, which is 48% for you guys that, aren't very good at math. 7 of 12 from 3. But my problem with Chris Paul was this. I thought he was getting a little bit lucky in the fourth quarter. Was he just trying to close the game because that's what he's done all season, or was he trying to go for the finals MVP campaign? I tweeted this out, and I got a couple people saying that they think he's going for Finals MVP because Booker had the hot hand. And basketball 101, especially a point guard as smart as Chris Paul should know, you got to feed the hot hand. This is Devin Booker's game, and you're out here controlling the ball 4 possessions in a row, not doing very well with it. He got lucky that Jay Crowder flashed to the foul line when he was trapped on the baseline, running out of real estate. Jay Crowder just moves from the three-point line to the foul line and gets a mid-range jumper instead of a 3, and it was a very clever cut. And I just thought that, and one time he had his pass deflected, and I think Mikal Bridges went to the basket and made a nice lefty layup. And I was just like, and Chris was turning the ball over. I mean, he had 6 turnovers to his 8 assists, and Chris Paul's Mr. Assist to turnover ratio. I thought that he was good, but I just thought that he was not amazing. I thought Mikal Bridges was the second best player on the court tonight after Devin Booker, who was my player of the game with 31 points, 5 boards, 6 assists. As I just read the stat line, he also played 44 minutes. But Chris, 10 of 20, 3 of 5, another very solid night at the office for him in his first finals. He is now 2 wins away from his first ever championship that could forever change his legacy. And man, you got to love it if you're a Suns fan. I'm loving it as a Chris fan. I want this series to get interesting, though. I'm rooting for the Bucks to win this next game. But the Suns taking care of business at home. Chris Paul, I was a little surprised he was going greedy there. My opinion, I'm asking a rhetorical question, to be honest. I think he was fully going for that Finals MVP. I think he was fully trying to pad his stats a bit at the end of that game and try to make the plays that shut the door because he's been so good at that this season. But in my opinion, just as a person who played point guard, not in the NBA level or D1 level, just my opinion. You can hate on it all you want as a Chris Paul fan. You know me. I'm all about the team, not individual stuff. So I love it when players put that shit to the side. And I just thought that it was a little bit fiendy, a little bit greedy. He's got greedy senior. I'm looking at an ad of McGregor right now on ESPN. So I was thinking of McGregor in that press conference with Mayweather's dad. You've got greedy senior. You've got greedy. Who the fuck is this guy? All right, that's it for me tonight, guys. I'm going to go to the live subscribers now. Let me know what you thought of the recap tonight. Ending a little short, only 1 game. Euro final on Sunday afternoon. Copa America final on Saturday. And I'm going to be working on that how Kobe Bryant's Lakers won 2 championships in a row video, which will be coming out right when the finals ends. And then I'm going to be working on Dime Dropper Time Machine, our first ever. And the series will begin as we resume the timeline, or should I say start the timeline and bring it to the channel. Thanks for joining me tonight. I'm going to go for the live subscribers now for 11 minutes. Super chats are turned on. Drop $1 or a dime. Peace. What's up? What's up? How many we got? 34? Could be better, but I know how it is. Oh, here we go. KB Magic, man. Hating on Book. You love Chris Paul, bro. You really be hating on Book. Thank you for the congrats to 3,000 subscribers, not 300,000. We wish, Michael Ta. It's not the algorithm on YouTube, guys. It's straight up that the people like to listen to Lakers and Clippers stuff. It's an LA audience right now, and I don't think that I have enough basketball fans yet. We just got to keep building, man. Keep telling your friends about me. If you really care and you really love it, please keep telling your friends about me. What's up, Lil H? What's up, Jordan Francis? These playoffs have proved the series ain't over at 0-2. I agree, Mr. Zeke. Man, Showtime Nick says, imagine if the Sixers weren't stupid and held on to Mikal Bridges. Trading MCW should have been a huge W. That's what they got? It was Mikal Bridges for that trade? All right, so the whole chat saying CP3 was going for that Finals MVP. I like it. Okay, being honest here. What's up, Terminator 92? Facts. They know when to go to the mid-range game when that three-point shot isn't falling. That is true. Splash and Skills says, I think Bucks wins game 3 and 4. Middleton and Drew will step up, says Raid. Jay Salcido says, I'm a Suns fan and clearly saw Booker getting snubbed by CP3. Jay Salcido, let me ask you this. Do you want Book to win Finals MVP because he's your homegrown guy? Let me know. Of course, KB Magic, really hating on that Book. I thought Book was great, man. Come on. He was getting off, KB. You be hating. Man, you love that CP3. Discord server, Little H. I don't know, maybe in the future, but right now I haven't even done shit on TikTok, so I got to do that this summer. Darian, how am I doing tonight? I'm doing great, right? I've been on my phone a lot less these last couple of days. Been working outside, being in the LA sun all week. Been playing basketball a little bit more, shooting on my. I love being in this weather outside. You probably can't see because I'm not using my regular camera. I probably got a little tan now. By the way, if you guys haven't seen my video on the Clippers, the final episode of the season on the Clippers, my sequel to the original rant, go watch that. And please check out my England episode ahead of the Euros with my boy Jack if you're into soccer as well. And of course, if you haven't seen it, is the NBA getting better and better? What are you doing if you haven't seen that? Clippers fan, 8-9. I think that's Tom that I met at the game. Tom saying even we put up a better fight against the Suns. We didn't have Kawhi, bro. Facts. So far, we've done better than they have, the Bucks. Daniel Clifford says, can't wait for the timeline series. I appreciate that, man. I'm excited. I don't know how good the view count's going to be in the beginning, but I'm really excited to break things down, actual footage, break it down, and then maybe make some videos just like storytelling a little bit. Raid asked, Darian, do you think Giannis will end up a better player than Malone, Drexler, Barkley when it's all said and done? I think that he would need to have this mid-range little tweener game consistently, and then we can start talking. But I also got to watch those guys play as well. Andrew M. asks, Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby? I got Mikal Bridges. Lakeshore says, no, you haven't dropped the vid, but one major advantage, length to centers. 7-foot Bynum and Gasol, which no team had. That's facts, man. I noticed that the hard way when we played you guys. Little H says, it's an LA audience. I'm from San Diego and I'm a Celtics fan. You're one guy, I'm afraid, Little H. Dude, it's 34 people in the chat. If it's Clippers, it'd be 100 right now. If it's Lakers, it'd be 70 right now. So, God, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to generalize, but yeah, Aiden didn't play with as much confidence as game one, says VR Booma. Darian, a lot of Gen Z bots think Harden is a top 5 shooting guard and better than Drexler. What is it that made Drexler better two-guard than Harden? I think he's better mid-range game. He's way more athletic, better going to the basket. He probably makes less dumb decisions and doesn't over-dribble as much. And he probably had better consistent effort on defense. But I need to watch to really confirm that. But when I watch him play, he plays way better on defense, better mid-range, what I just said, essentially. No foul-baiting nonsense. But if you guys watch Clyde Drexler play, go for it. Raheed says Chris Paul, Gary Payton. I got to go with Chris. And I'm pretty confident on that one. But I got to watch more GP. But I'm pretty sure Chris. Israel Fafana says, by the way, I hope you're doing well, Dime. Love to you and your family. Hey, thanks, man, Israel. I appreciate that. KB Magic said Bucks played some of the dumbest basketball tonight. What else is new? Walt Frazier or Isaiah Thomas? Great question. I got to watch Isaiah Thomas. Walt Frazier's pretty damn fucking nice, though. I can't lie. Ty Baller says, I can't state how much Drew disappointed me tonight. I know I'm disappointed a little bit too offensively, man. I love Drew. He's got to do better. Zeke easily says the Lake Show. Wow. No diss to Frazier. Maybe it is Zeke. I don't know. I got to watch more tape. I don't know if the Suns are just too good for them, Jonathan Castro. I think that some of it is self-inflicted woes by the Bucks. I guess if you incorporate their basketball IQs into that, then yes. Oh, here we go. KB Magic's hating. Man, please. Booker was solid but unspecial. He had 3 wide open threes. But what about the other shots that weren't wide open threes? CP3 wasn't going gunning for no MVP. Just had an above average game with some bad turnovers. Man, you love Chris Paul. You were quick to slander Book when he has a bad game. Prop up little Chris. Man, KB Magic, you're a funny guy. Yeah, Showtime Nick's right about those thumbnails. Gotta get better at it. Dime Dropper, show us all your Clipper merchandise. Dude, that would take like 30 minutes. Maybe one day I'll do playoff stuff. Not the whole thing. The whole thing, bro, that would be like a 20-minute video. I could show you guys playoff stuff maybe. And even that would be a lot. Dime, we got to get at least one passionate rant every year for the playoffs. I got you, Tom. That's all day. Dime. Oh, no, let's see. Zelda from Planet Belder says Giannis turned into 2002 playoffs game 2 Shaq tonight. 2002 finals or 2002 playoffs? What does that mean? But Darian, it's not like Shaq had a mid-range or 3-ball. He dominated in the paint. What's wrong with Giannis does the same and dominates mainly in the paint without a jumper? What you're missing, though, Raheed, is Shaq had skill in the post. Giannis is yet to prove he has consistent skill in the post at all. Shaq had, like, great footwork, drop steps, jump hooks for days, running hooks, and he's a total tank, and he's very versatile in that sense. David Robinson or Moses Malone? Asks Andrew M. I don't know. I got to watch. Can you do something on the 80s Nuggets for the time machine? I for sure will, but well, you got to get right now we're on the 70s, so. Drexler is so overrated for all-time lists. Same for Hakeem. They really sleep on their greatness. Tom, did you word that correctly? You think Drexler and Hakeem are overrated or underrated? Chris Paul or Walt Frazier? Asked Raid. Walt Frazier. And I'm a big Chris Paul fan, but no, I'd take Walt Frazier. Better defender. I think that like the performances that you're seeing, that Chris Paul that closeout games, shuts the door and stuff, Frazier done that in the finals, like big games. I think he's great contested mid-ranges, maybe even better than Chris in a sense that the percentages probably won't agree, but he had to do without screens. You feel me? And he goes left better than Chris, for sure. Frazier's amazing, man. I think Frazier's better than him. Chris Paul's great, but also Frazier was a consensus best player on a championship team in 73. Chris Paul's never going to accomplish that no matter what. He's not a consensus best player on this team. And Hart also, let's not forget, Frazier could have won a second finals MVP. He had 36 and 19 in game 7. And to me, just two-way, he's just so good. And also he moves the ball more. Chris Paul can be a ball stopper to me. Maybe Frazier is not as good on ball as Chris, but overall encompassing everything, I think Frazier's like, for my eye test, he's better for sure. Frazier's top 6 to me, point guards. And like, I don't know what much is going to change that. Unless Chris Paul wins 2 rings. Then maybe. KB Magic says Drexler was definitely better than Harden. Again, the question is, if CP3 gets a ring, is he a top 5 point guard of all time? Debatably, not for me. No. He's not going to pass Frazier, Jerry West, Isaiah Thomas, Steph Curry, and Oscar Robertson and Magic for me. And I love Chris Paul. I like him more than everybody I just named except Magic. But I just don't think he will. '07 LeBron didn't have a 43-point game, Collins Dang, in the finals. I don't even think he had a 30-point game in that finals. Hakeem or Dirk? Asked Tom. Hakeem, for sure. Dirk's great, but Hakeem can bring it on, dominate on both ends of the court. Showtime Nick says if Chris Paul gets that ring, I'll take him over Gary Payton. Let's not forget the defensive job the glove did on MJ in the 96 finals. Lucas says Walt Frazier over Jerry West. See, here's the thing. I used to say that, but I don't know, man. I feel, now that I think about it, I don't know. Jerry West was so incredible coming into his career, and I don't think anybody that was born at that time says that. So they might have something going on. Like, that might be some truth. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. When I see the eye test, Frazier is like the 3rd or 4th best point guard ever. But Jerry West, the eye test is, it's like 7, 8 games, 9 games, 10 games. Like, it's not living through it for a season. Like, so I don't know. I think Jerry and Oscar are probably better than him. But I don't know. I'm not going to argue with anybody saying Walt Frazier is top anything. You feel me? I think he's amazing. Thanks, Jordan Francis. I appreciate you for coming on. Splash and Skills asked, Mike Budenholzer getting fired in the offseason, yes or no? He said yes, or certainly. It depends, man. This is the Bucks going to the finals for the first time since 74, so they may just be like, I don't know. My score prediction time for the final of the Euro final, I'm going to go with 2-1 England. Lakeshore says, telling you, bro, no other guard other than MJ won consecutive chips in an era dominated by big men, all-time great bigs in the top 50. That has never been duplicated. That's facts, Lakeshore. Hey, yo, Ty Baller, don't diss my man Luke Walton. He's not my man, but I think Luke Walton is so different than Chris Middleton. And I was just watching a game the other night with my friend, 08 playoffs, and this fool Luke Walton was playing amazing. Like, straight up amazing. I don't know why. You got to sleep on him as a role player sometimes in some of those years. Lakeshore might be able to attest, and so will Showtime Nick. Show all your jerseys. I'll do that for you, Collins Dang. I'll do that soon. Nah, Lakeshore, man. You got to study or watch some Frazier, man. There's no way he's outside the top 10 point guards. There's none. No chance in hell. None. Bro, best player on the championship team, consensus. Consensus. How many people can say that? Because Chauncey, you could have made a case for a lot of people on that team. And then Dennis Johnson, he was great. I haven't watched that finals, but Gus Williams is really good, and Jack Sikma's good too. But I would be surprised if Gus wasn't that close. And then Tony Parker, he never was consensus. I'd say he was 2014, he was the best player, but Tim Duncan was right there, like not far behind. Frazier was definitely the best. He just got fucked. They didn't even finals MVP. Like he's the way Curry was 2015. To me, the only point guards to like consensus: Isaiah, Steph Curry, Clyde Frazier, and Magic, and then we'll see on Dennis Johnson. I think Kawhi will leave the Clippers. No. Yo, I was at Game 2 versus the Pacers. Zelda from Planet Builder. Facts, but Showtime Nick. Shaq was also an underrated passer. Who would you say is the best defensive player in each position? Terminator 92 asks. Are you talking about all time or right now? KB Magic says Moses Malone way better than David Robinson. Okay. Underrated. Dime, Suns have an asterisk ring this year. Please agree with this. No, I don't agree at all. All right, Raid. We'll see if Giannis develops the post game. He may. I mean, he has a great work ethic. Walt had a better mid range than Chris. Raid says. I mean, that's tough to measure, but I just say this: he has to do it without screens, like the same level of pick and roll. So I'll say that about him. And the game caters to guards more nowadays. That's also a crucial thing that people miss. The rules have changed for guards, and all of Chris Paul's career he's played in this. Shaq and Duncan were underrated pass from the post, Terminator says. Raid Chowdhury says, wait, Darian, I thought Willis Reed won both Finals MVPs. Yes, he did. But in the second one, he was not the same Willis Reed. He had injured in 1972 and missed the whole season. And he only won because he was going up against Wilt, and he had his best series of his playoffs that year. And Walt, you could say, had his worst series, but he still played 6 more full minutes on average than anybody else on that court. And the whole season, he was their best player. The whole season. Go check the playoff stats. He averaged like 23 points in the playoffs. Like, he was amazing. I think that I'm not saying it's highway robbery because I didn't get to see the whole series, but he was clearly the best player on the team. There's no debating that. I don't think Jay Kidd or John Stockton are better than Frazier. Like, I'm serious. I'm serious when I say, like, when I watch this guy play, he's insane. Like, the games are on YouTube. I'm going to make some videos on him. But, like, this guy, you guys are going to have a different opinion once I start making videos on it. Watch. I don't think Jerry West is a shooting guard, man. He played more point guard than shooting guard. He just is a score-first point guard. Time you fuck with baseball? I do mess with baseball. I'm not a huge fan, but I love the Dodgers. Hey, Dime, any advice for a young hooper trying to make his way? Keep working. Work on finishing around the basket. Don't fall too in love with shooting the 3 ball. And if you have the size for it, try to learn how to play in the post. Nobody has it these days. And, yeah, that's all I got to say. Study the game, too. It can really help. Am I still making content in the offseason? Of course. Dime Droppers year-round, Scipio. Would you rather have an on-fire PG or Booker? Great question, Nick Johnson. I don't know, man. I'd say Booker maybe. Just because, I don't know. He has a little more confidence to me. Darian, do you think Budenholzer's a bad coach the way everyone says he is? I think he's an okay coach. D-Wade or Zeke? Andrew M. says. I have to watch more Zeke, but as of now, I don't know, actually. That's a really good question. I have to watch. Maybe D-Wade, but I have to watch. Yeah, see, Lakeshaw said West played point guard the majority of his career. That's true. What do you have Kuzi among the best point guards? I may just have him 10th. I don't know, though. I'd have to really look at it, man. But he's definitely top 15. He's a beast. But it's just that he played so much of his career in the 50s, which I'm not a huge fan of, and I think it's very different than any other era. But he's probably, I mean, it's hard to compare eras like that. But Kuzi, man, he's up there with the best. But I'd say probably like 10th, 11th. Splashing skills. Really? Brazil fans rooting for Argentina? Is that how we've come to? Luke Walton is a very underrated passer. KB Magic is right on that. Chris Middleton is an MJ Kuzma hybrid. I mean, I feel you on that, Raptors Nation. I just think that we're just anything. I don't know. What's his MJ? That he has a mid-range game and he likes to hit turnarounds occasionally? Hey, but Lake Show, you said some cats I know have him outside the top 10. Some cats don't pay attention to anything before 1980 when it comes to basketball. And I used to be one of those guys. I used to not have Frazier in my top 10. I just didn't Pre-3-point line, I had a mental block because of the way it's covered. And that's a thing for a lot of kids and a lot of people, honestly. Even people that were born in the 90s have a mental block over the pre-3-point line. Who do you think of a better mid-range game between Chris and Kyrie? Percentages because they play in the same era. So I think Chris, but Kyrie is great too. Do I think the Rams will win the NFC West this year? I'm going to say yes. Would you be mad if Reggie go to Lakers? Of course. KB Magic says, Moses Malone, best offensive rebounder of all time, 3-time MVP, best player of an all-time great team, 83 Sixers. Way better than David Robinson. Good points. What do I think about Spencer Dinwiddie on the Clippers? I'd be down. I used to go to train with Spencer Dinwiddie. I've said that a bunch of times. But I don't know, man. I really want to see Luke Kennard. I don't really know if we need another bench scorer like that. Maybe, though. Fuck it. Just because our injuries, honestly. If we lose Reggie Jackson, no doubt Spencer Dinwiddie would be great. Yes, Derek Fisher's underrated. Yeah, your opinion of Clyde changed when you learned about the dribbling rules. Same with me. Kind of same with me. My opinion of that whole era changed after I found that out. I was like, that makes so much sense now. And if you go watch Clyde Frazier dribble the basketball, you can see he has such good handles. Like when I'm talking about some of the best handles of his era, which means like of all time, because that's what you're allowed to do. Dude's got it on a string. Doing behind the back. Like he's hitting behind the backs early, crossovers, before it's popular. Is Dwayne Wade the best player to ever win an NBA MVP? But to never win an NBA MVP? Maybe, man. That's a really good shout. I mean, he's pretty damn good. He probably is. PG-13 is better than Booker? Oh, maybe. That's a good debate. It's a good debate. You really hate Booker, KB Magic. What do I have? Iverson among top guards? I don't know. Is he a 2 or a 1? I think he's better suited at the 2. He doesn't look to get everybody involved at all. He really tries to score. Whereas Jerry West, I mean, you could say similar things, but I don't know, man. The way Jerry West, I don't know. I think he brings the best out of teammates a little more. But I'd say more natural too, Iverson. But I have to watch more of his career and see. Yep. Lake Show says Kuzi was a great ball handler, quick hands and hand-eye coordination. Even with limited moves, he still can get to where he wanted and change hands fast, kept the ball low and tight towards his body. That's facts. MVP Jokic or MVP Rose? MVP Jokic, maybe. I don't know. MVP Rose was pretty amazing. I don't know. They're both fantastic. I can't really choose. I'd say MVP Rose is more impressive. I'm happy for Jokic. Tell me I'm wrong, but aside from mentality, KD is the most flawless player ever built to play this game. I disagree a lot. Have you ever heard of Michael Jordan? I mean, what's this? Okay, it's flawed that he doesn't make threes enough. Big fucking deal. I don't know, man. I think KD shies away from physicality and his lower body strength and his core, like his foundation isn't strong enough, and that's why he gets sometimes pushed out of the post. And that's the only thing I can say about it. That's why PJ Tucker, I don't know, man. PJ Tucker was having his way with him at times. I also think Kobe's a better passer than Durant. I think Larry Bird is the most flawless player to ever play the game. Because the only thing that he has flaws is like God-given, that he's not as athletic as a lot of the best players. But like as far as skill goes, he can post up at a high level. That's the only thing I have. KD is pretty flawless, though. I'm not going to lie. He really is. I just think that sometimes he gets pushed to take tougher, long shots because he doesn't like making life. I think he just sometimes can make life too tough for himself, playing too much at the top of the key. There's a lot of things that people do these days. And I think Kobe was like the last superstar, like wing player that like really never made life too hard. I mean, actually not never. He definitely made life hard for himself sometimes, but like the positions in which he took up on the court were a lot smarter than players today. And if he was able to play in this era with more open court, like I just think that he would torch these guys like they was like that he would just literally like make these fools like I think he'd be the best player in the league by like a significant distance in right now's game. I truly do. But there you go. Sam Jones or James Harden, and why? Right now, I'm going to go with Harden for a little bit until he can prove that he can't win a championship as the second best player. Because Bill Russell's book said something interesting about Sam Jones that I'm going to have to share with you guys. At one point, I'm probably going to make a small video on Bill Russell's book and some great facts in there. But one thing he said was Sam is amazing. He's the most clutch player he's ever seen. And he said he's the best shooter he'd ever seen. But he said that he doesn't want the responsibility of being the best player every night. And one thing I'll say about Harden is he took that in Houston. There we go, right? Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Which coach would you like to see in place of Kenny Atkinson dime on the Clippers staff? I don't know, Lake Show, to be honest. I'm not really paying too much attention to it. Do we need Dinwiddie anyway? Facts. We have plenty of guys that can handle the ball. I agree with you, Scipio. I do. Without question, better than KD talent-wise, LeBron. I mean, I don't know, athleticism-wise, but skill talent, I mean, KD is a specimen, man. He's one of a kind as well. VR Booma, I said I'm not going to answer off-season questions. Sorry. Not interested. Had no three-point shot, and Kobe wasn't efficient. Oh, my God. This is what I'm dealing with, man. No three-point shot. Then how does he make 9 threes in a finals game? Or 8 threes, whatever that was. I feel like Jordan couldn't make threes. And then Kobe wasn't efficient. What's the barometer for efficiency? 45% is inefficient now. In his best seasons, he shot high 40s. And that was in that era. In this era, he'd be shooting 50%. Like, that Kobe isn't efficient bullshit. That's so overblown. If he wasn't efficient, he wouldn't have won rings. You think inefficient superstars that are the best player on their team can win rings? That's not how that works. He could have inefficient games. But saying he's inefficient, he was inefficient when he tore his Achilles, that's for sure. But man, hating on my boy Bean. What do you think Elgin Baylor ranks among all-time great small forwards? Top 10 and arguably top 5. Skill set wise, KD is the most flawless player to ever play the game. I just disagree. I think Jordan is. Or no, actually no. I think Kobe Bryant is. He's the most skilled player to ever play the game to me. KD doesn't have that footwork that Kobe has. Kobe face up and post up is just. KD's 7 feet. Bro, imagine if Kobe was 7 feet tall. Case closed. End of story. Darian, is James Harden still the best 2 guard in today's game? I still think he is, but Devin Booker's getting close. Terrence should start next year. Mook off the bench will be deadly. Interesting, Tom. I think we could definitely consider that. Isaiah Thomas never won MVP either. Good shout, Showtime Nick. Have a blessed night, Israel Fafana. Thanks for joining us, bro. Facts on Jerry West on Showtime Nick. Jerry West made 5 all-defensive teams late in his career, and before that, they didn't exist. He'd have more. He's a very good defender. The eye test shows it, too. Great anticipation. He has a great, loose ball. He'll get there. He bursts. He's very underrated athletically, Jerry West. People sleep on him. He had a 40-inch vert. Hot take. If LeBron doesn't win a chip next season, then he won't win another one. You could be right, Nick Johnson. Which current player do you think is most similar to KD? Jason Tatum. Just because he's so tall and he can shoot over players like that. Dude, Dime, shaking my head. PG-13 led his Pacers team to the conference finals. We're talking about, that was 8 years ago, though, KB. And a Game 7 against the super team Heat. Booker has the no doubt best player of the Suns. 0 playoffs. Oh, my God. Different East, though, KB. Man, that was a great group of role players. Different situation. I don't think that clear cuts makes PG better. I mean, he's better all time. Oh, Ingram? I mean, he's close, but I don't know, man. He's just not that star to me, like Jason Tatum. He's a star, but Jason Tatum's a superstar. Okay, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about Larry Bird on defense, so I'm going to just not listen to anybody and just make my own opinion on it. So I've heard a lot of people say that let's be honest, though. You're talking about Kevin Durant, though. He's not no standout on defense. And then that further proves to me that Jordan and Kobe is stronger in that conversation. Man, Showtime Nick says he's more impressed with Bird's passes than LeBron. That's interesting. I need to watch that. That's a great debate, too. People say who's the best passing small forward of all time, and the ones that say Bird say that it's great. What's up, Epeen? What is up? What do I think? Kobe's more skilled than Jordan? I think it's debatable on this one, but I think that Kobe, I think he probably had a more modernized handle, which, take your pick on that. But I think like dribbling the ball, I think he was probably a little better. I think that he had a better three ball and long jumper. And I think that his footwork in the post may have been better. I'm not sure though, but he had great footwork. And I think that Jordan had the advantage of having like a 45-inch or 47-inch vertical, whatever he had. And Kobe, he was really not as athletic as you think post 07. When he was 24, he was really not getting to the basket like that anymore, like Mike could. And I need to watch more Mike, but like it's the athleticism. That's really what it is. And Kobe's just, in terms of fundamentals, like he's really amazing. But hey, I could be wrong. Maybe Jordan's more skilled. I don't know. Larry Bird. What about Larry Bird? What flaw does he have? He's amazing with both hands. He has post-game and turnarounds over both shoulders. He has a great fadeaway. He can hit threes like there's no tomorrow. He can rebound. He has great movement off the ball. I mean, he has very good hand-eye coordination. Kobe Bryant literally himself said KD is the most difficult opponent to guard. That's not what you said, though. You asked me who I think is the most skilled basketballer to ever live. KD is difficult to guard, but it's a 5-on-5 game, not 1-on-1. And when you can scheme differently in a 5-on-5 setting. And when you want to take the ball at the top of the key, it's easier to double and see you. Whereas when you're in the post, low post, it's easier to turn and just do different things and create for your teammates from there. And I think that that's why Michael Jordan is so unstoppable. That's why he doesn't even need to shoot threes sometimes. Best perimeter defender and best paint defender. Well, the best paint defender is Go Bitch. And the best perimeter defender is maybe Drew Holiday. I think Drew Holiday may be the best. Kawhi ranking all time, not enough to. Kawhi has not put himself in a discussion to be ranked all time, my friend. No offense. He's an all-time great small forward, but I just think as a player, like, what are we doing there? Like, I have to really write it down. He ain't top 20. Let's put it that way. No chance. He can get there if he wins with the Clippers, maybe, but like he needs to stay healthy, bro. He needs to stay healthy, but nah, he needs more. Larry Bird is an underrated defender. See, these are the comments I hear, man. I gotta watch. I'm not ready to say that Joker is better than LeBron yet. I don't think AD is better than LeBron. I really don't. Steph, KD, Kawhi, maybe. KD, I'm the most confident in saying, and Steph was better than him this year, no question. But, man, Raheed says in his prime, Bird was an all-league defender. Well, then there you go. Cat and Ayton, I mean, it's a little bit of recency bias, but Ayton's way better on defense, man. And he's a better rebounder in my eyes. Cat's offense is way better, but Cat can be very timid, and he's not healthy enough. If CP3 leaves the Suns, I just don't care to answer that question. I'm sorry. Jordan is more skilled than Kobe to me, says KB Magic. No, I agree with your take, VR Boomon. Most skilled player got to be elite on defense as well. But I think that Michael Jordan, then, in that case, really makes the strongest case for himself. Hey, good for you, Raptors Nation's working on that spin. Rondo, first ballot Hall of Famer? No, definitely not first ballot, bro. He's borderline. Darian, should the league seriously consider confiscating Rudy Gobert's 3 defensive player of the years? No, come on. Rondo or Lowry? All time? Rondo. Come on. I like Lowry, though. He's whatever. He's cool. I know you Raptors fans love him, and rightfully so. I think it's honestly more debatable than I make it sound, but I'm taking Rondo. I'm not answering questions about Montrader. What? No, I don't want him back. 3-time all-defensive player, says KB Magic. Is there a case for LeBron to be out of the top 10 players of all time? For me, no. But it all depends on your criteria. If you really think this era is trash, then maybe. But I don't think so. I think he's accomplished too much for that. I think that anybody that has him outside of the top 10 is just kind of a hater. personally. But people say that about the top 5, and I hate it because that's bullshit. I think that two ways I feel about it. I think it made for some good drama and incentivizes teams not to tank. But I also think that it gave teams more of a safety net to get a top 10 seed to make a postseason game, and that caused more resting. So honestly, I'd rather just them take it away. Right, because you can't confiscate people's awards. That's why I disagree. Lowry is greater than Rondo. What the fuck? I disagree, man. I think Rondo in his prime was way better. I think he was way more confident. I think Lowry had one great playoffs, and then I think he was great in 2020 in the bubble, but I think that Rondo was like elite against better teams, and just performed. He was just one of the best passers in his generation. He was a maestro. He could get to the rim fast. I think he was a great defender. And the way he would take over games sometimes. But I think it's a good argument. But I'm taking Rondo all day long. I think Lowry before 2019, was good, but he went down in the playoffs, whereas Rondo elevated his game. So Mr. Zeke says Larry Bird might be the most skilled all-around player. Cheaters always win. I do like Rondo for the Hall of Fame. I do, but it's not a guarantee. I think Kobe's a more versatile scorer than KD because he can post up better. And he can also hit threes, just not as well. Capella is greater than Go Bitch. I don't know about that. Do I think In-N-Out's better than Chick-fil-A? They're definitely different, Nick Johnson. Definitely different. Lowry has longevity over Rondo. I mean, what? Kyle's had, like, now it's been like, he didn't have a very good, this year was whatever, man. Let's not even count this. He's clearly declining. Let's say he had 8 good years from 2012, no. Let's say he had 7 good years from 2013, 14 to 20, like your playoff streak, whatever that was. Yeah, your playoff streak. Rondo from 07, 08 to 2012, 13 before he tore his ACL was way better, in my opinion. And then he still had some good playoff runs. So you can have that longevity for what though? For like a couple more All-Star appearances, man. Like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so, man. Yeah, Andrew M. Lowry was the best player until Kawhi came. What about DeRozan? And you guys weren't doing anything. You were total pretenders. You made LeBron look like Jordan out there. Seriously. You really did. Like, I don't know, man. Lowry in the Hall of Fame? Nah. If Lowry's in the Hall of Fame, Kevin Johnson should be in the Hall of Fame, and so should Tim Hardaway. So I don't know about all that, man. Lake Show, thanks for the money, man. Good content. I want to say on Zeke not winning on MVP due to him sacrificing his numbers to get Dumars, Lambeer, Vinny Johnson, and others touches as a point guard should. Facts, Lake Show. I appreciate it, man, as always. Facts, KD Magic. KD is great, but when they do let the game be really physical, he struggles. How many more lives this season, Darian? Are you going to cover every finals game? Yes, right. I will do every finals game. Luca or Trey? Gabriel, I say Luca. 2021 Suns or 2020 Heat? I go with the Suns. Paul George in the Hall of Fame? Probably. 19 Raptors or 21 Suns? 19 Raptors, for sure. Confidently saying that. Confidently. Do I think Bucks can come back? Or are they done for? They can definitely come back. Would I like Booker or Mitchell as a first option? Yeah. Growing first options. No, I mean, Raptors Nation, man. You can say what you want. Kevin Johnson, Tim Hardaway, those guys were better than him. Are they not? Why are they not all-stars? So, I mean, Hall of Famers. Until they make the Hall of Fame, I don't think Lowry should be in it. Kevin Johnson's not in the Hall of Fame, and Kyle Lowry is going to be. Come on, man. I don't know about all that. 2016 Warriors or 2009 Lakers? 2009 Lakers, bro. All right, I'm done for the night, guys. 51 minutes is good. Peace. Have a good night, everybody.